In the beamer, in my soul, I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different from my past two videos. This is going to be my third one. Big deal, big deal. I'm sharing with you guys my favorite thrift upgrades, or just DIY upgrades, or I don't even know what to call it. Just best DIY additions to clothing that I have thrifted. A few years ago, I made the promise to myself that I would not buy new or fast fashion clothing unless I had searched all over and I was unable to find it secondhand. So I think I've done pretty good keeping to that promise. I would say that 90% of the clothes that I've acquired in the past few years since I've made this promise have been secondhand, either from thrift stores, consignment stores, antique stores, flea markets, my parents' closet, my friends' closets, my boyfriend's closet. I hope that this video inspires you to add a little something something to the basics in your wardrobe. So I would definitely call myself a maximalist. But Michelle, doesn't that just mean you're a hoarder? Not quite, but just a little bit. I would describe maximalism as kind of like an aesthetic of excess. For example, anything I buy, I need to kind of make it my own. I need to personalize it. My laptop is filled with stickers. My wall is full of art. Any space I go into, I want to make it my own. So any clothing I buy, I'm gonna uniquely personalize it. I'm gonna add something so you know it's gonna be a Michelle Tam creation. All right, let's get started. I have 7 items here that I wanna share with you that I have kind of tweaked or changed or added in some way, and I'm really stoked about it. All right, first item is this vintage denim jacket that I picked up for $25 at the Alameda Antique Fair. I fell in love with this jacket at the fair immediately because of this leather collar that is so unique. And it's also like that really sturdy cotton that you want to get in your denim jackets. But it was missing something. I wanted to add some fabric to the back, so I went to Fabmo, which is a nonprofit based in the South Bay of the Bay Area that rescues fabrics, embroidery threads, literally any sort of creative materials you could think of from going into the landfill. I picked out this vintage dead stock fabric. The piece of fabric wasn't large enough to cover the back panel of this entire denim jacket. I also picked up this cream fabric so I could do kind of like a striped pattern, and using gold embroidery thread, I kind of just went all around the edges to kind of have that like handmade but vintage look. And this is one of my favorite jackets now. I'm really happy with it. The next item is also another denim jacket. I picked this up for around $18, I think, from Eco Thrift. This is a bin I made, but we're not gonna talk about that. So this is a Sean John jacket. It actually has this very like indigo wash, but on the back, again, is what makes it really interesting. So my favorite flower is a sunflower, and I love Van Gogh. I love Van Gogh's sunflower. So I wanted to recreate it a little bit on the back. One thing I do wish I did was laying down a layer of all white paint before going in with the colored paint to make the colors pop more. But still, I think it's pretty striking still, and I'm really happy about it, and I get compliments on it all the time. Just adding paint to your denim jackets is like an amazing way to like personalize them. Next is another denim jacket. Can you tell I hate boring denim jackets? All right, I apologize, but this one actually is not thrifted. This was from my pre-thrifting days. It's from JCPenney. On the back, you'll see I have 5 moon phases. I made these moons using scraps of denim that I got from... Am I dying? Am I having a stroke? I made these little moons using scraps of denim that I got from cropping my jeans. Actually, the white ones were from a pair of jeans that I just totally ripped in the butt and were just unsalvageable. So what I did was cut them up into moons, and I didn't even have to use any sewing. I just used fabric glue. I'm actually really proud of this one. I was seeing a lot of moon phase stuff on Pinterest, and I was like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna add it to my denim jacket. Okay, disclaimer again, this one wasn't thrifted. Again, please don't stop the video. So before, this was just a boring old olive green jacket, and I used embroidery floss to add tassels to the pockets. The most fun about this DIY was kind of planning where the colors will go, and I'm really happy with the color combinations that I put together. These got a little screwy after I put them through the wash, so they're kind of just like pom-poms now. This is a really great way to make use of the embroidery floss I had lying around. Boom! Next up, we have a pair of khaki overalls that I added to the booty. This is my first pair of overalls that I thrifted. I was able to get it for $10 from the San Jose flea market. They were really dirty. I had no idea if they would fit me, but I was like, you know what? I want overalls. I'm gonna take the chance. And I went home and they fit perfectly. To keep it from just being boring old khaki, I made it wink on the butt. This is actually more difficult than I thought it would be since I had to embroider straight onto the pocket, and since I wanted to keep the pocket functional, I didn't really have full access to all edges of the fabric. So what I did first was cut out a piece of white felt, embroider the pupil on it before attaching it to the pocket, and used a stem stitch with black embroidery thread to create the outline and the eyelashes. The other side was a lot easier because all I had to do was make a wink. Next up is another pair of overalls, but this time it's denim and it's a dress. This, I don't exactly remember how much it was. I want to say $15, but it's from Crossroads, the consignment store. These were originally part of the H&M Conscious Denim brand. I don't know how sustainable that exactly is. However, it was boring. So I decided to add a colored pattern using embroidery floss across the top of the pocket. That was so hard to say. Anyways, since I love wearing this denim dress with just like very simple tops underneath, this little pop of color was perfect. Okay, moving on to the last piece. My last piece is one of my favorites, and it is this Frankenshirt. I went to Goodwill, I bought 2 shirts. I think they were $3. One was sriracha, one was sushi. I just cut them in half and using my sewing machine, put them together. I got the idea from another YouTuber, with Wendy. It is such a simple way to upcycle your t-shirts and give it that like streetwear look. I'm gonna give you a super simple tutorial right now. Take your 2 shirts, cut them in half, but not exactly in half because you need seam allowance. You're gonna take the front panel of your 2 half shirts, put them right sides together and sew them from top to bottom. Turn it inside out and do the same thing to the back. Boom, Frankenshirt. The bottom actually doesn't really line up as you can see, but I just tucked this in so it's not a big deal at all. You can also hand sew this whole thing, it'll just take a little bit longer. And that's it. Okay, well those are the 7 of my favorite, most all-time thrift flip craft DIY upgrades. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you were inspired by some of the flips that I did. Hope this inspired you to shop secondhand. Inspired you, I keep saying inspire. I hope I inspired you. I'm so inspirational. Thank you so much for watching. I am a new YouTuber. I am a new YouTuber, so likes, shares, subscribes, comments would be super appreciated. Also, if you have any advice, any feedback, nice please, I'm very sensitive, on how I can improve or what kind of content you'd like to see, I would love to hear it. You can follow me at mtamdoesart. And that's it. Have a great rest of your day. Bye!
Ohio State.